Looks like the Soros project has been activated, as anarchists threaten to lay siege to Delhi following a failed attempt to counter the central government through the farce of a restless protest. Now the Northeast is their next punching bag. Don't believe us? Then check out the unrest in Manipur. Namaste, this is TFIPost and I, Animesh Pandey, would present to you the reasons behind the current situation in Manipur and why two tribes have come to this violent point. Recently, riots broke out in Manipur over the SC status being given to the Meiteis. Until celebrated boxer MC Meiteis chose to tweet about it, not many in the mainstream media were even ready to focus on the unrest. Following the deteriorating situation, the state government called in for armed forces who have somehow brought the violent unrest to a standstill. But what is this fuss all about? To be honest, one needs to have a look into the history of Manipur before going ahead. Literally meaning the land of ornaments, Manipur was a princely state during the British rule. It was merged in September 1949 when the king of Manipur, Bodh Chandra Singh, signed the letter for the merger. Manipur was granted the status of a complete state on January 21, 1972, when a constituency of 60 elected members was established. At present, it has 2 Lok Sabha and 1 Rajya Sabha seat representation. Now, Meitei community are the original inhabitants of the state. According to Indian Express, Manipur has 65% population belonging to the Meitei community, while they have claim only over the 10% of the land. These people mainly live in the valley in and around Imphal. Thus, they feel pressure for the land. Meitei community is a prominent community of Manipur and it has a history of prosperous heritage. Incidentally, MC Meiteis, though a Christian, herself belongs to the same tribe. On the other hand, about 35% of the Manipuri population belongs to around 34 tribes of the Kuki Naga community. About 90% of the total land is reserved for the Kuki Naga tribe. According to land allocation records, it is evident that 10% of the land is for 65% population, that is Meitei community, and the rest is for the 35% of the population, that is the Kuki Naga tribes. Kuki Naga people live in the mountainous regions. With time, the Kuki Naga community have adopted the cultivation and trade of opium as the main source of livelihood. It leads to illegal consumption that has spread as a system from Manipur to Myanmar, Laos and Cambodia. Currently, the present government has adopted a zero-tolerance policy for the cultivation of opium and other narcotic substances. Another factor that is causing an issue is the Clause 371C of the Indian Constitution, under which the mountainous regions of the Manipur have been conserved. Private property is strictly prohibited in these conserved forest areas. But in time, the Christian Kuki Naga people established their huts one by one in these protected areas and developed the villages. They started to convert, occupy the land for opium production and suddenly became millionaires. The current government has desolated several such manufactured villages. Long story short, the majority Meiteis have been suppressed by the minority Kukis who have connections to both the cartels as well as the missionaries. Recently, while hearing a Meitei tribe union petition, the officiating Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, M. Muralidharan, directed the state government to present on April 19 as the recommendation of the Union Ministry of Tribal Affairs pending for 10 years. The recommendation tells for a tribal status for the Meitei community. In May 2013, the Honorable High Court referenced a letter from the Union Ministry of Tribal Affairs. However, for reasons best known to them, the incumbent Congress government turned a blind eye to the same. Earlier, the petitioners informed the court that the community had a tribal status before Manipur merged into the Indian Federation in 1949. Now that the Meiteis were given their dues, this infuriated the missionary nexus who wanted to encroach upon the rights of the people of Manipur. The houses of the Meitei Hindu people were burnt in this regard. This combination of churches indulged in conversion, foreign currency and narcotic crimes has done great mischief during the last 100 years in Northeast India. In 1901, there were 96% of Hindus in the Manipuri population, while it has reduced to a mere 49% in 2021.